Hey there everybody, I am back with you today to share how I planned this week in my Classic Happy Planner. Here is a look at this week that's going on right now, and I just love it. I'm so happy I shared it with you guys last week because I really truly love it. I think that not only the colors, but the leaves are so pretty, and it just really was wonderful, and I love it when that happens. So could I say love more? But anyway, let's switch to the next week, which is obviously full of sticky notes. And as you can see, because it's so full, I decided that I was going to go with the Supermom layout. Now go with me here, okay? So I decided I was going to go with this because there are so many kid things and so many different kid type things that I thought, let's try it out. Am I right? All right, so I'm using the Supermom, the classic size and the mini size, and then this packet right here that has the decorative stuff, but it also has sticky notes and stickers, and that's really cool. Like, that's just a huge variety there. So we're gonna get started. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the left-hand side first, which is the usual, am I right? I'm not going to decorate as much as I have in the past. Now, again, I assure you, I can see on the camera that the shadowing is super bad from the ink from the week before. I mean, I can see it, but it's nowhere near what it's showing on the camera. And I don't know why that is, why it shows more on the camera than I see in real life. But yeah, there's shadowing for sure, but it doesn't really bug me. And so I choose not to worry too terribly much about it. All right, so I do need to add some stuff on Monday. As you can see here, there's not only no school, but the Baseball Booster Club is running a golf tournament, so that's kind of like a thing. And so I want to use that. Now, okay, so here's the thing. My kids are older, as you guys know, if you have been here for any length of time. So stickers like this one, where did I just see it? Right here. It's really adorable, and 10 years ago it would have been like seriously the sticker that I used constantly, but my humans aren't tiny, my humans are actually bigger than me. So yeah, stuff like this, I would theoretically cover this up. However, I don't actually love this color palette together, so I'm going to kind of skip it, although it's absolutely 100% something that would be perfect for covering things up. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this sticker, and I actually really love it, and I'm going to then take this one right here. And so as you can see, like, they've both got this watercolor palette, so that's why I'm not choosing this one, right? Because they're the same. But this one would coordinate really nicely with it. So we'll go ahead, and then the benefit here too is that I can cover up a little bit of that shadowing, which, as we've discussed before, doesn't bother me at all. I completely understand that it's a product of using the stamps, but because I can cover it up, I will, and I consider that to be very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just add this right on top of that in the middle, and I will put the information for this stuff right here. Okay, so I can get rid of that sticky note. Now I also saw, okay, so I'm just going to show you these because they're really cute, not because I need them. I mean, there's so many of these #MomLife, and I'm sure there's somewhere in here again, keep the tiny humans alive, which again, like I already told you, it's adorable. It's really a cute phrase. I just don't have tiny humans. So I saw something in here, the no school little things. It could be in the big box, and we might be going, nope, so right here. So what I'm going to do is, because this is a no school day for my kiddos, and I'm sure most of your kiddos that attend school, I'm going to put that there as well. So I'm also, which I wouldn't ordinarily do this because it's not something that, let me figure out a color to use. I'm going to use this blue, light blue color, because it's not, A, it's not my favorite, and B, it is it does go with this color palette. Now don't get me wrong, I love the push pins and I love the darker blue, just this particular shade is not mine. So I'm going to use this as my to-do list, knowing that I'll be at this most of the day. So having a couple of to-dos is really all that's necessary for me. Okay, so now we'll move on to Tuesday, and it's just crazy how you get into just stuff going on, am I right? So I'm going to pull these off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here and see what there is. If I'm being perfectly honest, I haven't actually spent very much time with this book at all, just because, for no good reason. If you want to know the truth, I just have been using other things. So I'm going to look through here and see what I can find for a to-do list. If there's any of there's a lot of icons in there. That's kind of cool, actually. And I like that they're black and white too, because then you can use them with just about anything. So that's awesome. All right, so there's not really any specific checklists in here, like, you know, marking them off or whatever. So that's okay. That's what I was looking for. And I'm actually pretty sure I did see some in here, which again is really funny because I feel like I'm just using this one book over and over again. Now, what I did notice, however, when I just flipped through here, is that it's that watercolor, which is really, really pretty. And I might be able to use it at the end of the week, but I don't want it right next to this watercolor. It'd be too much. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pull out my checklist. Where are you? Checklists? Right here. So I'll pull this one out and I will choose one that works well here instead. There are probably several if I look at this correctly. So I'll go ahead and use this yellow one. It's really not exactly the color of yellow, but I don't really care. It doesn't really matter to me. So we'll go ahead and put that right here. Now I love this, that it's just part of that cluster. I think it looks fantastic. I like that so much. Now I do have a couple of activities, and one of them is a huge activity. My son is student of the week for the school district, or for the high school. And so there's only one for the whole senior class, and that's my son for this month. So there's a big luncheon, and I'm quite excited about that because, well, it's very exciting. So anyway, all right, so I don't see anything particularly, it's kind of a weird sticker book actually, because there's a lot of really functional stuff, but there's not very many boxes or anything like that. So I'm going to look through here and see if I can find something. I'm thinking I would like to use a circle sticker for that, but I need to find something else for my doctor's appointment. So all right, so again, nothing really specific in there for that either, which is a-okay. So what I'm going to do instead is I will go and pull out this box, and I'm going to look, and not by box, I mean the clip with all of my half boxes in here, and I will pull this out and look and see what I can use from this one to notate that doctor's appointment. Now obviously I have like these doctor's appointment stickers, so let's see if any of these work. This one might actually work, so I'm going to go ahead and just use that, and then hopefully I can make the circle sticker work with it, because that's really kind of what I was hoping for. It's kind of weird that I am getting a TB test, but it's necessary for volunteering in our district, and mine is expired from years past. So I am re-upping that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use this corally one because it matches this sticker down here, and it's really pretty and maybe not something I'd get to use all of the time. All right, so I will put this the information for that right here. Now, I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, this is kind of different for me, and I'm just going to admit that right now because it feels weird to me. So I feel like if I just say like, oh, this is weird, then it'll be less weird. I don't know if it is or not. So I need to also write down the instructions as to where this luncheon is. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that right here. And then I will pull out an arrow sticker, which I know I have somewhere, but truth be told, I don't actually want to bore you. I'll look through the icons, see if I can find them. I know I have them somewhere. Like I can think like, oh, I know I have arrows, but I don't recall that being in here. Anyway, so you're all thinking and shouting, Jenny, it would be here. I remember seeing it. And I'm drawing a total blank, but so I'll put an arrow and it'll all work out, I think. Or maybe I'll just draw an arrow. Who knows? Let's not get too crazy. Okay, so now we'll move on to Wednesday. And again, obviously I have some stuff going on, which is crazy because I feel like after the day before, who knew? Okay, so we'll move these off and then I'm going to go back to a to-do list for here on Wednesday, and I already used those checklist these right here. So I'm going to pull out one of these instead, and I'm wondering, okay, so it's not really peach. I was thinking, oh, maybe that would work because it is got this hot peach and this pink, but it does not go together. And again, obviously that didn't make any sense what I just said either, but that's all right. Okay, I'm going to use this one because it's a little bit of a harder color palette to match, and with this sort of purple, but this particular sticker, I know you're thinking, what? Right? See, there's a purpley color there. And again, it's not perfect. Now, I don't really actually know why there's white at the top of that. That's a little weird. And I don't consider myself picky, but that's weird. So I'm going to just trim it off. I don't know that it would really actually bother me at all, but I'm just going to get rid of it because it seems a little bit strange. All right, so I will put that right here, and it's cool because it sort of matches. I mean, it doesn't 100% match, but it matches well enough. So that's awesome. Now I'll go ahead and move my boxes, and then I think I saw in here nail polish bottles, which I'm gonna hope, because there were so many icons, right, that one of them is a handful of, yeah, see, there we go. That's so cool. I need to remember that. All right, so I will put this guy right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and look through the rest of these icons and see, perhaps the scissors, that's a good one. So I can tell already that I will definitely be able to use something. The photo might actually work as well, but I'm not going to use that one because I feel like the scissors works for the blog post that I have on that day. All right, I can't get that one off, which is okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I can't get that one off either. They're sticky. I can tell they're sticky. It's just that I'm pulling up the paper behind it too. And I know somebody will have a suggestion because they always do, but I got that one off, so it worked out all right. Now I'm going to just go here, put it there. There. All right, so I can move those sticky notes now, and I'm considering putting a decorative box right here. I'm gonna just wait and see how that goes once I get some of my other stuff in here, because I might put it up here instead. I know my Thursday is pretty limited, so feels right. Okay, so this color goes really well, but I don't love, you can't really see it, can you? Okay, so it goes well, like you can see that green and that green, but I don't love these checklists because my handwriting is too big, and so those just don't work as well for me because they're pretty close together. So I'm just going to keep seeing what else I have. Obviously, I can definitely come back to it, which is great. But there's plenty of other ones in here, so I'm not going to stress out about that. I don't really know what I'm looking for. If you want to be completely honest, there's plenty of choices, so I could have stopped ages ago. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. It's kind of a corally color, and it's very similar to that. And it's not super important to me that they're exact, because I feel like it all works out all right in the end. So, all right, so we have my to-do list down here on the evening sort of spot, and then I will go ahead and put the game information up here. And what's a little bit weird about it is that we haven't had a game in like 2 weeks, and so it's just kind of odd. All right, I'm going to use this light blue. It's not perfect, but A, it is very similar, and then B, I can throw this away because it's all done, and C, I don't mind that it's not quite perfect. So I know some of you that would definitely bother, but it doesn't bother me at all. So let's go ahead and put that there, and I will fill this in really quick. Okay, so perfect. So I'm still considering a decorative cluster up here just because, okay, I'm done there. I have nothing on Friday, which is super weird, right? And so kind of feels like, well, why not, right? All right, so, but I'm just keeping my options open. Okay, I can remove this right now because that was a sticker that I put in before I put in this one, so it wasn't really truly necessary. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some of those camera icons. Hopefully I have a little bit more luck pulling it up than I did those scissors, am I right? There's a lot of them and they are super cute. Can you see those right there? They are pretty darn adorable. So I'm going to pull that up, put it right here. Actually, I'm going to move it down here. Just feels right. There. Now my sons have 2 baseball games on Saturday, and so I'm going to thinking about it. I'm thinking about how I'm going to organize this. Now I know I have something, these pennants are really cute, these game day pennants, and I think they would match pretty well, maybe not perfectly, but pretty well with this sort of box that has ended up being the, you know, the way that I planned today, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's try a half box. Let's see if we can find one in here. All right, idea. I don't use these. These are the really old stickers, the very first ones from Happy Planner, and I like them actually, but I don't love to use, first of all, these are too small for the most part for my to-dos. Obviously something like Monday, it's okay, but I don't love using them because they're slick. And so I like the slick stickers for activities, events, those types of things. But for my to-do list, I don't usually have a permanent pen sitting really close to me. So it's not something I would ordinarily use. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I'm gonna put this one, no, not down there, maybe right here. I'm going to add the pennant, which I think this one's kind of nice. Again, it's this soft pink and this coral, and I'm not sure it's perfect, but it works good enough for me. And then I will pull out a permanent pen. I'm just going to grab the first one. This is a Pilot Ultra Fine Point. I actually really like this one a lot. That's the first one I pulled out. So let's see, we'll do the 1045. Alrighty, so then I have another one that I need to put right there. So let's see if, you know what, let's just use this baseball icon. It's really cute. So let's put it right here, and then I'll just add the information next to it. So I don't love it, not gonna lie to you. It's not my favorite, but I'm gonna let it be because I think it'll be all right. So I'm gonna move that over. I do need to add a to-do list for Friday. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add another one of these right here and just find one that works. I'm not going to pick this color, although that was my first inclination, oddly, because it's the same, but I don't love these either for the same reason that I already talked about with this, that they're slick, and so you can't just use whatever pen that you have handy. You have to use a permanent one, which is fine. I don't mind permanent pens at all, but I don't always have one close by. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use this bright pink one, and what I'm going to do is, there's not like a deep purple on this, so I'm going to trim off the Today. Again, I don't know that it would really bug me, but I don't want to annoy any of you with that, and I don't really care, so seems all right to me. Okay, so let's add this right here. Now, I think what I'm going to do is add a decorative cluster here and a decorative cluster there. So I'm going to go back through and see anything that is, I don't mind this one at all. I think it's really pretty cute, actually, and probably really true. See if I can find any others that I'd like to use. Now let's see about this one. I'm just going to look on the back super quick to see if there's any big things that I can see. There's not really. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this one. And I'm going to, will it look okay right there? I think it'll look fine. I'm not sure it's perfect, but I don't know that I also care that much. So I think then I will also go ahead and look through this right here and see something that I can put there, because it's a nice little space, and I think that there's probably some quotes in here that work. Now see, like this one right here, this is pretty adorable and it would work really well. I'm going to come back to it though. I'm not 100% committed to that. But I do like it because it kind of covers 2 days, or 2 boxes, I'm sorry, next to each other as opposed to up and down, which I find like a lot of these are not necessarily like that. So all right, I lied. I'm going to do this make today count because I think that the colors match really well and it's cute. So let's do it. I like the heart one though. So there we go. That's really adorable. Now, I think looking at this, I feel like I could use a little bit of washi. I know. I don't want to go crazy or anything, but I think we could use a little washi. So It's pretty cute. So what I'm gonna do, I've not even opened it. Can you believe that? Because again, I'm telling you, I like this collection very much. It's just not been something I've reached for as much, which is kind of weird, right? All right, so what I'm going to do, and I think that's all about to change because now that I'm looking, it's really very, very cute washi. I'm gonna put this right here. I'm not going to use the word one, though I do like the word one, but I'm not going to use it. This one is so pretty, this watercolor painting one. I like it very much. All right, so I will pull out my X-Acto knife, and I think that, all right, I've changed my mind. I'm going to pull this one all the way down. I'm going to pull that. And then I'm going to pull this one right here. Why did I not cut this? Anybody else talk to themselves and ask themselves questions and then know you're never going to answer? Oh, wait. All right, so that one is going to get cut up here. And then I'm going to do it right there. Super cute. And then I will pull this little tail up. And then lastly, I'm going to let this little guy be the whole entire length of both washi strips. Now, I very well may end up with another game on Sunday because this is a tournament, so I should likely end up with another game. Actually, I know I will, but I will probably just put it down here or something like that because, well, the washi's really cute. So, okay, so now I have another little strip right here that I'd kind of like to see. So what I'm sort of thinking is that I might add some washi right across here. So what the thing to do might be to cut this to-do header off, peel it up, and then add that washi. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really like this one, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. Put that right here. Trim it. And then do the exact same thing over here, and I will cut this as well. I actually typically like these little headers. I just think they're cute. I mean, obviously I know it's my to-do list, so it's not necessary for it to say to-do list, but I think it's cute. So I'll go ahead and lay this washi right here. And I do not do this very often, but I do like the continuum across the 2 pages. It feels really like pulls your eye from one page to the next. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't love this right next to each other like this, but for some reason it's not bothering me too terribly, so I'm just gonna leave it. And perhaps next time I wouldn't do that because, you know, like we already talked about with the 2 patterns right next to each other, but it's cute and I'm leaving it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at next week in my Happy Planner. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will see you next week. Thanks so much for stopping by.